Welcome to the morning show on WRCO Radio. We're here to talk about all the great things that Kinship offers in our community and in Southwest Wisconsin. Joining us today is Director Michelle Nolan-Karras. Also, Judd Dvorak is here, who is a volunteer mentor, and Chelsea Waneke, who is the board secretary for Kinship as well. Well, good morning, everyone. And Chelsea, we'll start with you. This is an important thing that you're a part of, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been involved with Kinship for several years. At first, I started as a mentor, and I've got to say the young lady that I mentored is now in her 20s and getting married and doing well, and it's fun to stay in touch with her many years later. That's a story of many mentors. They start with kids, and those kids mature over the years, and it's just a really fun thing to be a one-on-one mentor with a child. Because I had such a great experience being a mentor, then when there was an opportunity to join the board and just help oversee the organization, provide some support, help with fundraising, then that seemed like a good opportunity. So I've been serving on the board for several years now, and just want to encourage other people in Richland County and the area to learn more about mentoring and the possibility to get involved with Kinship.
So the story with your young woman who's now in her 20s and married, it started off and now it's like a lifelong thing for you, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's not always that way for everybody. I mean, sometimes the person they're matched with moves out of the area or things change. But a lot of the mentors start with children when they're young and stick with them. If the match is a good success from the family's perspective and the mentor's perspective, usually you meet once a week and you try to find fun activities to do or just free things in the area, just something that will give that child some one-on-one special attention. So yeah, the young lady that I was with, we often went to Simon's and went swimming, or we just go to a fast food restaurant and go get some food and talk, or go to a park and walk around. Just anything that we could think of. So yeah, we had that relationship for several years where we met once a week. And then as she kind of became a teenager and had more things going in her own life, we didn't see each other quite as much. But of course have stayed in touch as she's been in the area. And yeah, it's just been good to let her know that, I was that adult that she could count on when she was younger, and I'm always still here for her.
Have you thought about being a mentor again?
Yeah. I think there's a lot of people that have been previous mentors that would like to come back to it as well. It's not a big ask of your time. Like we said, it's once a week for an hour. So you can think about everybody's busy and there's a lot of things that we do, but it's not a huge ask. It's just asking you to set that time aside for a child. And usually the mentors find it very rewarding themselves as well.
As your role, tell us about your role as Secretary of Kinship.
Sure. So our board of directors includes myself and several other community volunteers, most of whom who have either been mentors or they have a special interest in youth development or helping kids succeed in the community. Our board meets every other month, so we meet 6 times a year, and we really just kind of go over the financials. We hear about if there's any special events for mentors and kids, and we think about if there's anything additional that we want to do to promote the program. We all think it's a great program, but we know that more people need to learn about it. Sometimes they've heard about programs like Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and we talk to folks that this is pretty similar to that. This is a one-on-one match between a caring adult in the community and a child who needs a little extra attention or an adult in their life. And we always think about those families who, maybe want to reach out and say, hey, I think my child could benefit from a mentor, could benefit from someone else in their life, whether they're a single parent family or maybe just have some other things going on where they know that kid could use someone else. And we think those families are really courageous and really strong to ask for that extra help, and it works out really well most of the time.
Is Kinship available pretty much all over the Badger State?
So there are different Kinship affiliates. So we are kind of networked with a national organization, but it depends in your community if you have one or not. So the Kinship of Richland County has been here for a long time. We know there's one in the Portage area, so that's maybe not too far as well. But there might be other organizations that serve different communities.
Our mentor is here as well, Judd Dvorak. Judd, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
You're kind of the VIP of the studio here.
Well, I get that a lot.
Well, tell us about how you learned about Kinship and why you took the plunge.
Well, I was actually looking for something to volunteer for, and I went on the Richland County website, and I was looking for Big Brothers, Big Sisters. But that organization, there wasn't anything on there, and I learned about Kinship. And so I just sent him an email, and I just said that I wanted to volunteer. And then Michelle got to me right away, the director. Turns out she lives right up the street from me, and we're way out in the country. I mean, I'm in Henrietta Township, so it's a small, very rural. And so I was nice to meet her. And she told me about it and told me what's involved and what your requirements are. And I thought it sounded great. And so I volunteered. And I'm on my third different kid, and I've had 3 totally different experiences. I've had kids that have single moms and really, really need someone to spend time with. And then the kid I have now has a really stable family. Grandparents are involved, uncles, aunts, parents. So it's different. Some kids just want someone for one-on-one time, just to spend time with, go to their soccer games, go to the movies, just so they get that one-on-one time with someone that they might not normally get.
Mm-hmm. So does it vary from the children that you've mentored in terms of things you do and trying to find those common interests?
It does. Some of the kids that came from single mom homes or single parent homes that didn't have a lot of things that they did after school, a lot of activities and stuff like that, they would be up for anything. Anything was new to them. And I personally like to go fishing and hunting and outdoor stuff. So the kids that I've had, they all love that stuff. I take them out fishing in my boat, and I've had 2 that caught their first fish with me, and their smiles, just you wouldn't believe how happy these kids are to catch a fish. Things that I took for granted when I was a kid, like I had my uncle teach me how to hunt and fish and stuff, and I just took it for granted that every kid got to do that, but they really don't. And so it's rewarding. It's much more rewarding than the time I put into it. It's like Chelsea said, once a week for an hour, and there's no rule saying you can't spend more time. Like when I take my little guy fishing, and we're gone for 3-4 hours sometimes, but he just loves the outdoors, loves to fish, loves to see where I go deer hunting. It's a very, very rewarding thing to do, and I wish I would have volunteered years ago.
It kind of dovetails into, we've had some DNR people on, we've had some hunting enthusiasts on, and they're talking about needing to get more young people involved in hunting. So that's one of the things, too, where you're getting them in.
Absolutely. Hunting, unfortunately, is getting to be it's less popular with kids playing video games a lot more now, and after school activities and that. And when I was young, that's what we did after school, was we went out in the woods. We didn't have all the activities that kids have nowadays. So it's really important to get kids involved in the outdoors, in my opinion, whether it's fishing, hunting, or just knowing about nature. When I take them out in the woods, we're not just hunting. I'm showing them, okay, that's what an oak tree looks like. That's what a hickory tree. This is edible. This is not edible. Don't eat this. Those droppings over there, those are from a deer or a coyote, or they're things that I've known since I was a kid. But when you see the reaction when you tell them this, it's just like, it's mind blowing to them that somebody knows all this stuff. So it's good to see how to watch them learn and to watch their eyes get open to new experiences. That's what's most rewarding to me.
Sounds like they get as much out of it, as you do, and maybe even more for you then. Right?
I hope so. It's definitely something I would recommend. If you have a little extra free time, go and talk to Michelle about volunteering to be a mentor, or if you have a kid that's over 5 years old that needs somebody to spend some time with, I cannot recommend Kinship highly enough. It's a great, great organization.
Yeah, I think sometimes we unfortunately think about, well, they're orphans or they're children with, single parents or maybe grandparents raising them. That's not always the case, is it?
No, it's not. Like I said, the child I mentor now, his family is great and they're very involved, but he has a brother, and basically what they wanted was someone to spend time with their older son, one-on-one time. Because he was with his brother being in the house, he wasn't getting that one-on-one time that they felt he could really benefit from. So I come and pick him up, and we do everything. We just, like Chelsea said, go to fast food sometimes, or a movie, or hunting, fishing. I mean, if you're interested in it, the chances are they will be interested in it too. I try to get him to experience as many new things that I'm comfortable with and that I know about as possible. I try to give him as many different life experiences at his young age as I possibly can.
Yeah. It's awesome. Michelle, this is a good testament right here for Kinship. Judd's story, isn't it?
Oh, it is, yeah. I'm so impressed with our volunteers. We're so lucky. Right now, we're down to 8 active matches. So we've lost a couple of kids and volunteers in the last few months. But each match is important, and it's important to both the kid and the volunteer. So we're looking for more of each.
More of each. So
Yep.
If people are hearing this and interested, and maybe a light bulb goes on about a child, what should they do?
Well, there's a couple of options. Excuse me, as Judd said, he emailed me, and you can do that. It's kinshiprc@gmail.com, and I check it every day. I'll get right back to you. And you can also call and leave a voicemail. It's 608-475-2886. We also have a Facebook page where you can leave a message. And there's also actually P.O. Box 51 if you want to contact us through snail mail. So there's lots of options.
Are there some opportunities for people to donate to the cause as well?
Yes. Every year we send out an appeals letter right before Thanksgiving, and we'll be doing that soon. Kinship has an annual budget of under $8,000 a year, and I'm the only part-time paid employee. Everybody else is volunteering, and it's basically we have to have like insurance, liability insurance, and belonging to the organization is about $400. The postage and all that stuff is covered, and we don't get any funding from anything but donations. So we're really lucky that people are willing to do that.
Hopefully people will remember you now as we get a little bit closer to tax time and everything.
That's true, yeah. It is a 501c3 organization, and it's tax deductible, and we'll give you a receipt. So,
how long have you been involved with Kinship?
Well, it'll be 9 years in March, so it's been a while, and it is very rewarding. My husband has a Kinship kid, and so I get to sort of see it firsthand, and it's wonderful. They've been together 3 years, and this kid has really grown and changed, and I think it's been important to him to have a person of his own. He's a unique kid, and he doesn't get to be in charge very often. And when he comes out to the farm, he's in charge. It's anything that Randy suggests, he says, "No, we're not doing that. we're doing what I want to do," which is cool. And every year we do a survey with the volunteers and the parents of the kids. And his mother said that in the survey that his behavior has improved 1,000%. And I was like, well, that might be an exaggeration, but it's pretty nice to hear. So it's great.
That is awesome. So obviously there are some kids out there that could use some guidance and whatnot.
Oh, yeah. As Judd said, some of them are really needy, need it very, very badly, and others it's just a perk, but it's great. It's important for both. We used to have a requirement of a single parent family, but we removed that, and that's fine. So any kid ages 5 through 17 who lives in Richland County, that's the only requirement.
Most of the time, I mean, they work out. If it doesn't, do you switch mentors sometimes?
Sometimes we do. It's surprising how often it does work out. But yeah, sometimes it just isn't the right fit. But that's why we interview the child and the mentor beforehand and try to find common interests and so forth. So
you gave the ages for the child or the student or whatever. What are the ages for somebody who could be a mentor?
Well, the mentor has to be 18 and up. There's no limit. Actually, Judd is one of our younger mentors, and so most of our mentors are retirement age, but they have lots of enthusiasm and lots of experiences to share, and that it's great. So it doesn't cost anything. We do a background check on the mentors and do an interview. So they're very reliable people, and we've been really lucky.
Do you get sometimes references as well, maybe?
Definitely. They all have to provide at least 3 references. We follow up with that. And yeah, we don't cut them any slack.
I was going to say the background check in that they're very thorough. I mean, Michelle came to our house and wanted to see where my wife and I live and interviewed us and to see where I was going to be bringing potentially a mentee to spend time. It's not like they're just asking for volunteers and having anybody that signs up be a mentor. It's not anything hard. I mean, as long as you're not a serial killer or something, is basically what I'm trying to say is they do their due diligence to make sure that the mentor is someone that is trustworthy with the young person, and it's really great.
Yeah, very important that you do that. Do the schools sometimes reference it there as well and maybe give you a clue that this student could use someone?
Yeah, we have gotten referrals from some of the counselors at the schools, sometimes the churches, parents, neighbors. So it doesn't matter who refers the child. The important thing is kind of the follow through. I respond right away, but it's a couple pages for the application, and for some families that's a big obstacle. So I'd be glad to help them fill that out, or sometimes like social services will help fill out the forms, and if that's a problem, we can deal with it.
You'll do the legwork for them.
You betcha.
In other words, sure. Chelsea, as you look down the road, what would you like to see as for the future of Kinship, or some things that you could change or look ahead to?
Sure. Well, like Michelle said, this is kind of holiday season and giving season, so this is when we ask the community to help support the organization financially. Very fiscally responsible and low budget organization, but it does take many hands to help make that light work. So we appreciate all of the businesses and community members who have donated in the past, and would hope that some new and additional ones will come in and help out with this cause as well. Like we said, it's not a big ask of time for the mentors, but if you don't have the time, but you still think this is a great thing and you'd like to see more kids in our community have that connection to a mentor, and you can't put your own time into it, you could put a little money towards it, and that helps to make sure that we have funds to do fun things with the kids. Like Michelle took a group to the haunted cave, the Eagle Cave last weekend, helps pay the admission for the young people to participate in some of those things that they maybe wouldn't get to, and do it with their mentor as a bonding experience. Coming up, we do, it's different annual events throughout the year for mentors and kids to interact with each other. A favorite thing in the summer is a picnic at the park, and we've done kayaking on the Pine River for several years. Again, a new experience for many kids, even those who live right in Richland Center, and they maybe cross the Pine River several times a day on the school bus or things like that, to get the opportunity to really be in the river and see that this is part of their community too. Always look forward to some of those events, and anybody who wants to get involved, please contact us and we'll find a way.
I'm sure trying to get the word out there, because I'm sure there are people that live in the community right now that don't know about this or what Kinship involves, right?
Exactly. So, we know that just kind of overall, everybody wants the next generation of children in our community and Americans to be healthier and mentally healthy and happy. And this is a way that people can take that vision and turn it into something real. If you're not sure, what can I do to help and to make things better in the future? Spend an hour with a kid every week, and you know that you are making a positive contribution to the future. So when they are thinking about those things, hopefully they think about Kinship Inc. as a way to help bridge that.
Indeed. As far as the future, Judd, you're looking at more mentees down the road?
Yeah. The one I have, the young person I have now it's like I said, it's really rewarding, and I'm hoping to be able to work with him for a long time. But I just want to really, really make the case that it's so much more rewarding than the small amount of time you put in. I get more out of it than I think I ever thought I would when I volunteered originally. Just to see the change in the young person from the time you get them till they've spent quite a bit of time with you, and you've actually I don't my wife and I weren't fortunate enough to have kids, so this is new to me too, and to see the kid grow and things that you taught them, it's just, for me, it's mind-blowing. And I would really, really encourage anybody that's thinking about volunteering to look into Kinship, because it is rewarding. And if you, getting to the tax thing, if you donate to a national organization or Red Cross or United Way, they're great, but this is local. This is right here in Richland County, and your money is going directly to people in Richland County that it will help. And that's what I think is great about it. It's all right here in your backyard. And, if you can't volunteer, like Chelsea said, a few bucks goes a long way in a small little organization like this. And every little bit helps. And if you have a kid who's between 5 and 17 who could use some, someone to hang out with, or someone to teach them something new, how to fish maybe. Mm-hmm. This is perfect, in my opinion. It's a great organization to be a part of, and I would highly recommend it.
Can't think of a better way to contribute to the future right there. I mean, because the children are our future.
Yes, they are. And, there's so many things that kids have going against them now. Just to be a part of something positive is just great.
Positive organization. I know you're going to be putting together some commercials that we're going to be airing on WRCO, Michelle, but basically just getting the word out, right?
Right, yep. I think more people are aware of Kinship than they were when I first started, and it's growing. It might be small, but, it's steady and it's strong, and we're growing, and we're hoping more people get involved. So,
could a mentor more than one student at a time?
Yes, we have had that in a couple of cases, and sometimes it'll be a couple can mentor one child too. The primary mentor has to be the same gender as the child, but we have had a couple couples do that, and so we're flexible. We can find ways to have it work. We also have people. The mentors don't have to be from Richland County, but then they have to be mobile in order to get to the kids. Judd lives quite a ways from his child, but the parents were actually meeting him halfway sometimes.
Yeah, I live in the near Yuba area, and my wife is involved too with the kid that I mentor. We'll do things, just on it. We have a place that's been in my family since 1878. It's 160 acres. Used to be a farm, and I'll take him back in the woods with her, and she'll point out things too. Even though she's not a mentor, he loves spending time with both of us. It's just that one-on-one time with him is what he really enjoys.
Yeah. Sounds awesome. And that's why you stay involved, right? So
that's true.
Stories like Judd's right here. So,
yep. Brings tears to my eyes.
Yeah. Anything else anybody would like to add this morning? We appreciate you coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Phil.
You bet. You're welcome. Judd Dvorak, Michelle Nolan-Karras, and Chelsea Waneke on this portion of the morning show talking about Kinship.